So how's everything now?
Right now,
Mm-hmm.
it's I'm hanging by a thread, but
Mm-hmm.
I'm pushing every day.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully you get to be better. I mean, being able to manage the pain so we can go to Joshua 3.
Mm-hmm. I'm
It's,
pushing, like you said, Father. I'm looking forward to what you have planned,
mhm.
so it gives me a little hope.
I told London a while ago the story of me visiting somebody in the place where I was assigned before. Back then, I was assigned to in the Philippines. I was assigned to a place called Negros. It's an island in the Philippines, and my reputation there was. Somebody told me this. His name is June Vargas. He said, "Father, did you know that people have been talking about you here?" And I said, "Really? What have they been saying? Father, you're very popular." And he said, like, when you visit people who are sick, they die in 2 weeks. Like, what a reputation. I said, I don't, but yeah, but the reason why he asked me to come with him that day was because he had a relative who was very, very sick, a rare condition. She was in pain all over, but was just not dying. So she was in terrible pain. So I entered the hospital room. I asked everyone to leave. And I told her, I was sitting like this. I said, "You don't know me. I don't know you, but your family asked me to be here." And I said to her, back when I was in Manila, that's the capital, people would come to my mass because it's Father Raymond celebrating mass. And the sitting capacity of the church, it's not a small church, it's like 2,000 sitting capacity, and they had to put loudspeakers outside because it's Father Raymond celebrating mass. So I told that to her, Tita, when I was doing masses in Manila, I was so popular, people wanted to attend that mass. But I'd be lucky if I'm able to save one soul. And I said to her, "Do you know that you can save not one, not two, not just 10, but innumerable number of souls?" And her eyebrows started to arch, and she goes, "How can that be? You're a priest and you preach, and here I am, helpless. How can you save more souls?" And I said to her, "When I preach, I don't have any capital. It's just me preaching. But with you, when you're sick, if only you say, 'Lord, I accept this pain, and let me offer it, unite it to you, and let me offer this.' Think of an intention, don't just offer. 'Lord, let me offer this for a mother who's about to commit abortion, or a dad who's about to leave his family and become unfaithful. Lord, let me offer this for a teenager who's about to take drugs, or a priest who's about to leave the priesthood.' Believe me, one mother who's about to commit abortion or is contemplating to have an abortion will have a change of heart. Why? Because of your offering." And you know what happened after me telling her that? She smiled and she said, "Father, I never knew my pain had meaning. I never knew my pain had meaning."
And that's the same thing that I told Father too. I didn't know my pain had a meaning.
When you accept it, it doesn't, it, and when you offer it, it doesn't lessen your pain. Imagine this is your pain, and this is the pain you offer. They're the same. It will not lessen the pain. It will not lessen the doubts and the fears. But when you offer it, "Lord, let me offer this for a mother who's about to commit abortion, or a priest who's about to leave the priesthood," what happens is, this one, this is your first pain. And this one, exactly the same pain, but there's value added. You added value to it. It doesn't benefit you because it doesn't lessen your pain, but it benefits so many. You call that the redemptive value of suffering. If you Google it, it's there. Redemptive value means suffering per se is evil. No one has to suffer. Suffering was a punishment by God to our first parents when they disobeyed God. By the sweat of your brow shall you till the land, and by the pain of childbirth shall you bring forth life in your womb. That's in Genesis. But Jesus took that pain and nailed it to the cross. He took the pain, the suffering that was a punishment, and he used it for our redemption. My point, when there's the throbbing pain, when you can't endure it without the medication, you could, Lord, let me just do it for 1 minute more that I delay this medication. Even just 30 seconds, let me offer it. You don't enjoy it, but you find value added to it by offering it. Does it remove the cancer? No. But it certainly helps moms who don't know what to do, whether to have an abortion or not. Or a priest who's going to leave the priesthood, and all of a sudden, a stroke of grace somewhere out there, somebody would be helped without you even knowing. What you're enduring is physical pain and emotional pain. Know that what she is enduring is far more than yours. You may not believe it. You might think you don't understand it. No. What she's enduring is far more than yours. When my dad was dying of cancer, I thought my mother was gonna die ahead. You're sleeping when you have your medication. There's no medication for her to drown the pain. She has to take more coffee because she cannot afford to be asleep because she won't be there for you or your children. That's the reality. And there are no medications for her. So I am not lessening your pain, but it's putting things in perspective. That you are enduring cancer, but the cancer she has to endure in her soul is far more. And that is why that redemptive value of suffering, Maud, is equally for you. Lord, let me offer this. What God is giving you is an opportunity to save a lot of souls. Even when you're here. You don't know where the grace is going, but I know God will use it for so many. What did Our Lady at Fatima say? We have the image of Fatima at our church now, the outdoor shrine. What did she say? Many souls go to hell because very few are willing to pray and do penance for them. What she is saying is, how many souls could have been helped from being damned to hell if only those who were in pain offered it, that they may have a change of heart when they were still alive. When they're dead, you cannot change that. But when they're still alive, your penance, your physical pain, your mental and emotional agony is helping a lot of people.
I never saw it like that.
I did the same thing.
Then it is for you to help each other. London, remember, you could just remember Father said to offer, so that you have to whisper it to him, because when he is in deep physical pain, he cannot think of that. All you want is to remove the pain. But I'm not saying you don't drink the medication, don't get me wrong. But while the medication is still trying to take its effect, Lord, let me offer this. And that's why so many saints welcome the thought of the pain coming, because they knew they could save a lot of souls. You have your fears. He is asleep. Your daughters are probably doing their assignments, but you're being tortured here.
Yes, every day.
Yeah. And that's when you say, Lord, I accept them. And let me offer them to you. It's the conscious act of the will. No one can help you there. It's a discipline you have to learn. It's almost like yoga. It's a meditation in itself. Find a way to bring you to Jesus on the cross. If you have a cross, if you have somewhere to look at, just so you can look at it. Lord, you suffered, and let me offer this to you. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. My suffering, it is this. But Lord, I want to add value to it. I still don't know what's going to happen in the future if I offer this to you. But at least I get to bring so many souls back to you. Think of so many souls who need saving. You're not saving them, it's God saving it. But you added a premium, so God will work on it. You find in the Bible, St. Paul said, I complete in my body that is the sufferings that is lacking in the sufferings of Christ. What is lacking in the sufferings of Christ? Nothing. But what St. Paul said is, I complete in my body. What he's trying to say is, I welcome the sufferings I have. You're not looking for them. You're not like some sadomasochist looking for pain, but for whatever is dealt for you, then you say, Lord, this is what's dealt to me this day. Let me offer this to you. Then you find meaning to it. Not the pain that gives meaning, but the value you find added to it because you offered it.
I never saw it like that. Did you?
No, I didn't.
We can help each other.
Yeah, like last night I asked Maud to start tell me scriptures from the Bible, and one was what
The one that states, that lead me into the valley of the shadow of death.
Mm-hmm.
And then footprints, we read that one a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Many different ones, but never have we offered our suffering, Lovin's pain. We didn't know that was possible.
That's a redemptive value of suffering.
And I think our natural reaction is to always ask, why me? Right? That is our human nature, to always say, why me? Why me? But when you put it in that way, then maybe there is something to offer why things are happening to us.
Mm-hmm. St. Francis has this to say, the Lord will never give you a cross that's an inch too long or an ounce too heavy. When he gives you a cross, he looks at your courage and gives you the cross with love. Not an inch too long, not an ounce too heavy. He measures your courage and hands you the cross with love. So when you ask, why me, why me? Why not you? Why not you? He probably saw your ability to offer. I don't know what's going to happen in the future. What I know is I'm sure God will take care of you.
I know. We talk about that. He asked me, like I was talking earlier, he asked me, like, what is heaven? What is heaven? Is it great? Are they going to be waiting for me? And I told him, of course.
They say heaven is not a place. They say, and this is what I believe in, heaven is where God is. Where is hell? Where God isn't. The torture of hell is they will never see God. What is heaven? It's to be in the company of God. God is not beautiful. God is beauty. God is not loving. God is love. Imagine to be in the presence of sheer love. That was what I experienced when I jumped off the plane. You just don't think of anything. Your dopamine shoots up, and that's okay. We'll put a beat to that later. The dopamine shoots up, the oxytocin shoots up, the adrenaline pushes up. Like you're just, if you look at I was like laughing and smiling. You don't think of anything but sheer joy, sheer freedom. And the pain in my groin because the harness was like really tight. But other than that, but yeah. And for 3 days, I was high.
From the excitement.
Yeah, I couldn't sleep because still my adrenaline was still pumping after 3 days.
And this is father being overcoming his height.
His fear of heights.
Yeah.
And I guess once I look at that as when you abandon yourself already, then it's freeing.
Yeah.
And even this experience, you still have fears. But if you abandon yourself, Lord, you will take care of me and I love you.
He will. He does. He does.
Redemptive value of suffering. Lord, I accept this. I unite this to your pain. But the most important part, think of an intention. Don't wait. This one, it's the same pain, but it's wasted. It's wasted. It's just pain. This one, exactly the same pain. But you didn't waste it. You made a conscious decision. You know how Filipinos love to haggle. I don't know if other cultures do that, but Filipinos love to haggle. Like, how much do you sell this for? Like 40. Can you add this as well? And this one? I'll buy it for 40. We do that. Filipinos have, right?
My mom does that.
Your mom does that.
Yes. How much do you sell this for? Oh, just 3. Oh, can you also add that particular? Right? That's value added. It's, how do you put it? Making your money's worth. It's making your pains worth.
Never thought about it that way. But definitely we'll do that moving forward, I think.
I'm actually doing it now.
Yes,
Yeah.
you are.
Yeah. And it's okay that she hears it. Because piety, that's the virtue you gain from praying. Piety is not gained by praying once. Like any habit, it has to be constantly done so that it becomes part of who you are. Ask me, do I offer all the time? No. Most of the time I complain. I like whine. Like, and before I know it, it's lost already, like this. That's true. Honestly, because it's a discipline you gain. And he asked me a while ago, Father, did we ever learn this at RCIA? I said, I talked about it,
You did.
but it doesn't ring any bell because you're not going through. You don't need it then.
We weren't going through it at the time.
Now that you're going through it, then you understand, okay, let me offer it.
Yeah. I don't
And it
know.
also helps that you have someone that puts it in a way that is simple and understandable and has been a part of our family and our journey. And I think that has a lot to do with it too, Father. If it would have been any other person, I don't think I would listen because they wouldn't understand. But you've been a part of our journey from, us going through classes and getting us married. And, and sometimes I do tell London, we did everything right. I don't understand. Maybe we'll see it in the future. I don't know what it is right now, but there has to be meaning to all this pain. There has to be. Because I know God doesn't want us to suffer. He doesn't want us to be like this. He doesn't want our children to suffer. But there has to be some meaning somewhere. We might not see it now. And maybe we will never see it, but there is meaning to it. There is. I have to believe that. I have to believe that. That's what wakes me up every day. That there is meaning to everything that happens, and that God doesn't give us things that we can't handle. I know that. And it's been hard because London is not an easy man. He's been a challenge, I think. And we try to understand.
I just have all this anger, Father. This anger that I have inside of me. At the things that we worked hard for and too early of an age, too early of my kids that I might leave. I mean, it's just anger every day.
What did I tell you when we were driving? It's okay to be angry. And then, at the end of the day, it's really as when I jump off the plane, abandoning yourself. Lord, I put myself in your hands. Then you find peace. Anger is only there because you want to be in control. You had plans, you set all this, and now you're not in control. That's why you're angry. And yet you realize no one is ever in control.
That's right. You think you are.
You think you are, but you're not. Father Pius right now is celebrating Mass for 3 people. It's a funeral Mass for 3 at the same time. Husband and wife who died, and another relative, another brother or sister. 3 of them died altogether due to COVID. This husband and wife left a child who's, I believe, 10, 12 years old. They're in the news. They were featured. Not to lessen your questions or the value of what you're going through, but we're never in control, really. But once we begin to accept, Lord, you would not do what is not good for us. We cannot understand it now. We probably never will, but we just trust in you.
That's right.
Then it's freeing. And meantime, Lord, let me offer this to you. Offer it. Even when you have not just physical pain, you have doubts and questions and anger. Once you catch yourself, Lord, let me offer even that. And think of an intention. Oh, believe me, so many people will be thanking you. So many souls will be thanking you. You find in the news or watching the news, you see it on Facebook or some news online on YouTube of this or that situation. Put it aside first. Lord, there's a situation. Let me offer this to you for that. Final point on offering. Now, you will really not like me after saying this. God loves a cheerful giver.
Okay, so we have to be happy when we say it?
No. You're offering. You're offering. The same thing. You're offering anyway. Imagine somebody giving you a gift with a frown. Imagine giving you a gift with a smile.
It's a bigger difference with the smile.
It's the same gift.
Yeah, but when they're not happy, it means it's not sincere.
Exactly the point.
It's not sincere.
Right? You're offering anyway. Lord, let me just offer it to you. I'm sorry I whined.
Sorry if I'm in pain.
No, you're not sorry you're in pain.
No, but
That's what
if I
you're offering.
offer,
Yeah.
when I'm offering, I'm not smiling or
Yeah.
I'm in pain.
You don't
but
need
I'm...
to be physically smiling, but your heart is happy, not resentful to God.
Mm-hmm.
It's an act of the will.
Yeah.
And you said the act of the disciplining and the thoughtfulness behind it.
Mm-hmm.
Because of course, you know, naturally your instincts are to be angry and to question and to not want to do it. That's just part of who we are. But like you said, to do it consciously and thoughtfully.
Mm-hmm. Or when she starts fixing and you don't like it, like, okay, let go. You've said that 200 times already. Right? Like, Lord,
I should, right? I should just let it go.
Or just see the beauty behind it. Thank you for cleaning.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
I was at ER on Tuesday, Father. And
Let me just
yeah.
change.